Basketball season won't be around forever, so get in on all the action now with DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports. DraftKings is giving new players a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Claim your free shot at $1 million in total prizes when using the code THPN during signup. Playing daily fantasy basketball is simple. Just pick your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. Feel the sweat like never before. Every dunk, steal, assist means so much more with the DraftKings daily fantasy lineup. Baseball fans, you may have missed out on a season-long fantasy, so now is the time for you to get in on all the daily fantasy action where DraftKings has even more ways to make it rain. With DraftKings, payday comes every day for players. So what are you waiting for? Head to the app now. Download the DraftKings app now and use the code THPN during signup. This week, DraftKings is putting you in the action with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. That's code THPN, and you can get a free shot at $1 million in total prizes only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCVP.
All right, we're back for another edition of the WCB podcast, a part of the Hockey Podcast Network. It's Jarom. It's Tanner. Tanner, what's up, bud?
Hey, how's it going? Feeling pretty good.
Feeling pretty good. Beautiful Sunday. Spring. Enjoy it now. It's supposed to snow on Tuesday.
Is it?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Chicago, man. But yeah, lots to talk about. Last episode we talked about how we're going back to 2 episodes a week, and then I go get my COVID vaccine, and I feel like death for 3 days, so kind of had to push that back a little bit.
It's coming.
It's coming, but yeah. So
It is supposed to snow on Tuesday. Fuck off. Jesus.
Oh, man.
It was 80 degrees like a week ago.
I know, right? So, but
Chicago, baby.
disgraced mayors, shitty weather. Let's go. All right. Lots going on in the hockey world. Trade deadline happened Monday. Kind of saw a lot of teams kind of take their place at what they saw that they're going to be going into the playoffs and into this offseason. There wasn't a lot of big blockbusters, but there was a lot of good moves, I thought, that were made.
Yeah.
I think we'll talk about like the winners and losers that we think happened and kind of break down some of the ones that stood out to us. In the meantime, Hawks, we'll go through the Hawks trades first because we can't really talk about the games that were played until we talk about the moves they made before the games happened.
Absolutely.
So as expected, Janmark got dealt. Soderberg got dealt. I kind of feel like that was one that kind of was expected, a 1-year guy who couldn't bring some depth to a playoff team.
Yeah, I think that one for sure was just like if they found something like just good enough, like it didn't have to be like a sweet deal for them, but they were like, if we get something, like might as well just make the trade.
Right. Yeah, I think. Well, here, let's talk about those trades first. So the first one that happened on the day was kind of caught us all off guard. Highmore gets dealt to Vancouver for Adam Gaudette.
Yeah. And I think the consensus online was that we just fleeced the Vancouver Canucks. And I was like, all right, like, sounds good to me.
Let's pull up his cap friendly here. He's a center. He is 24 years old. Let's pull up his stats here really quick. 33 games this year. He says 4 goals, 3 assists for 7 points.
Not having a good year, but
also Vancouver's not really playing either and not having a great year either, but we'll get to that too. His best season came in last season, obviously.
Yeah.
33 points he put up. He looks like he is going to be a good young center for us. He kind of was it. Okay, I'm trying to think. I'm getting some of these trades confused. No, not around 5.
What?
I'm getting the trades confused over like the young, the underachieving, like high
Oh,
draft.
that's kind of what it is. I mean, he is a little bit underachieving this year. Um, because like he put up like 33, you said last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think there's any way that that Highmore was ever going to be putting up 33 points in a year. So it's kind of like, well, yeah, we'll take a lot more production.
Yeah, 33 points in 59 games too.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that not too shabby there. Kind of it was a little bit bummer seeing Highmore go. We kind of echoed it in our group text about it. But I think we all came to an agreement that Hagel kind of cost Highmore his position on this team. I think Hagel coming out playing as well as he has been,
Yeah.
and basically doing what Highmore was supposed to do, but better.
Yeah, he's that energy guy. He's always grinding, but he's also producing too, like Highmore was a good body out there to like have that energy and be good on the forecheck and hopefully be like just good enough defensively. But there's plenty of times where he was just scratched because we just had a few too many guys like that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean Highmore in 24 games this year had 2 points. Last year in 36 games had 6 points. He really never really found his role on this roster, on this team, and
Mm-hmm.
just getting lost in the shuffle with so many young players stepping up and all that. I think this might be good for him. It's going to be a change of scenery, an opportunity to go to a team that is trying to find their identity. I think Vancouver doesn't really know what they are besides Pedersen, Bozer,
Besser,
Lesser. God damn it.
Bo Horvat,
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't think they really know
Quinn,
who they are besides
Hughes.
these guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just confused on how it was a 1-for-1 trade, but I mean, I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah.
So I think that was a great way to start the day.
Yeah. Gaudette, how long does he have signed for?
He's only got a 1-year deal right now, but he's a restricted free agent.
Right. So, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what he does when he finally gets out here. I know he's been dealing with the quarantine issues, COVID issues with Vancouver. So I don't know. Has he been cleared to play
He's
yet?
been cleared, but I'm assuming he'll be on the team soon. Right now, he's listed on the actual roster and it's not the taxi squad. So maybe we'll see him next game or something.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
Then after that trade for the Hawks, we go through a little bit, and as we mentioned, Soderberg got dealt to LA. Geez, I'm looking at the wrong thing. To Colorado for two AHLers, Josh Dickinson and Ryder Rolston.
Yeah, it's just the signing rights to Ryder Rolston.
Yeah, so Dickinson is a center, and Rolston they have listed as a center, left wing, right wing.
Yeah.
Guys with the no NHL contract history.
Yeah, he's playing for Notre Dame.
So right up Bowman's MO right there.
Yeah. Playing with Landon Slaggert.
He had 6 points in 28 games with Notre Dame this year.
Yeah, so I think that was the main piece. Like those 6 points too, you gotta like realize he's only 19, so he's the freshman on a university team and probably not getting the most playing time. So I'm assuming, more than likely he's going to be playing at Notre Dame next year. We'll see probably a little bit more production out of that, and maybe he turns out to be something pretty decent.
I mean, stocking up on these like forward prospects. Let the kid play a couple of years in Notre Dame. Maybe let him play through his junior year and kind of see where he's at then. No rush to bring him in at this point.
But Dickinson kid is, I don't know, was he playing the ECHL?
Yeah, so he started the season with the Colorado Eagles, and then he's played a couple games with the Utah Grizzlies, and then the Indy Fuel he's played a game with.
Yeah, I think that was just maybe just a roster spot move. In Ryder Rolston was probably the main part of the Soderbergh trade.
I mean, and hey, like we were kind of talking about earlier, Soderbergh, for somebody that was added to our roster late this year, did a good job. 34 games, 15 points. Did a great job when he started like finding his groove on that power play. Was a good in front of the net presence. Great move for Colorado, I think. Colorado,
they know what they're getting. Like they've had them before.
Yeah, so Colorado is one of those teams that is kind of all in in the moves, and now they're kind of like really solidifying that their roster, and they're strong up and down, all four lines, all three defensive pairings, and the goaltending's finally kind of. I mean, Dubnyk really isn't anything to be proud about, but like, I mean, it solidifies it for them. So
yeah,
they're gonna be dangerous. They've
been dangerous.
Yeah,
it's they're gonna probably go pretty deep. I would assume. I mean, we'll see. They've been destroying it lately, so
yeah, it's like I think what we said. Well, I don't know if it was last week or the episode before, but it's a bummer. Well, no, I guess because that will be like the final for the division, Colorado versus Vegas. Like that is potentially to be a hell of a playoff series.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of Vegas,
yeah, right. The biggest trade that the Hawks made on the day.
So this is one of those crazy 3-team trade to make the money work. The Blackhawks traded Janmark to San Jose. San Jose retained 50% of Janmark's salary.
We also retained 50% as well.
Yeah. So we retained 50. San Jose Sharks retained 50. And the Sharks dealt Janmark to Vegas, along with Nick. Was it Nick DeSimone? DeSimone. And a 5th-round pick from us to Vegas. San Jose Shark got a 2022 5th-round pick, which was actually Buffalo's pick. And then the Blackhawks got Vegas's 2nd round for this upcoming draft and their 3rd round for next year's draft.
Yeah. That's a pretty good deal. I was just hoping for like at least a 2nd and maybe a 3rd, like one or the other. And we ended up getting a 2nd and a 3rd. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
It's a bummer to see Janmark go, but like you said, though, when we were expecting maybe getting a pick for him, like you can't hate that.
Right.
And he's a free agent this year. Maybe we bring him back.
I wouldn't mind it, man. I like seeing him out there.
I think it would be awesome. But
I also think that with the squad that we have right now, like if we're getting those young guys the playing time, I think they might just keep doing that because team's looking pretty damn good. Plus, I mean, you're gonna have like guys like Nylander back next year too,
and hopefully Taves and
so it's gonna be a pretty packed squad already. So we'll see.
Yeah, but so Vegas was always like a rumbling. Vegas has turned into one of those teams like the Blackhawks between like 2010, 2015. Like, how do they still fucking pull this shit off?
Yeah, and Tampa.
God, but
that's crazy.
Yeah, and then the last move of the day for the Blackhawks, another Vancouver trade. We got their 4th-round pick this year for Bowie and our 5th round for this year's draft as well. So, again, another player that we signed cheap and flip for a draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, Bowie, I think only played like a couple of games for us too.
Honestly, when that trade got announced, that was the first time I remember he even was playing for us.
Because when we signed him, he played like 2 games, and then
he played 2 games for the Blackhawks and 2 games for Rockford.
Yeah, but he was mainly just on the taxi squad. And then like I remember seeing somewhere that like Colleton was just he did give him some praise because he's like, I mean he's the team first guy. Like he didn't complain about like not getting ice time. He was just like,
He knew his role. He knew
yeah,
what.
he was good to be around, good to have around the boys, and it's just like, I mean, put me on the taxi squad. Let me make money. I don't care.
It's just one thing that I was kind of surprised though about this deadline was I was surprised that a lot of the players that we traded, and the fact that we didn't bring any more players in to kind of help with expansion, protection, and all that. Like I kind of was expecting.
I think we're pretty well covered on expansion though.
I was kind of expecting them to bring in maybe like a guy or two that would maybe give them the benefit of protecting another player. You know what I mean? But
nah.
Fuck me, I guess.
I think it's been like a consensus that like we're gonna probably end up losing like Calvin DeHaan. There's not much we can do about it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird that you didn't hear his name in the talks at all. I thought for that reason too, he would have been out there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though. If you get rid of Calvin DeHaan, then now you're losing somebody else, and it's kind of like, well.
No, I understand that. I'm saying though, like if they were trying to see like if they were for sure going to lose, it's one of those three defensemen that we're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
I would have seen like, okay, well, if we're going to for sure lose one, let's try to get a haul for one of the other ones, kind of thing.
Oh,
to kind of make up for it a little bit, but I don't know. I guess I was just more surprised you didn't hear his name floated out there a little bit more on trade bait type of thing.
Yeah, there was like people kicking tires on Zadorov, and they just didn't really like anything that they heard, and I'm like, good, because I'd rather just keep him.
Yeah, keep him, protect him, but overall,
Murphy and Duncan Keith, because like when it comes around, like you're supposed to protect the guys that have like the no movement clauses, but you can ask them to waive their no movement. So like Seabrook, who's not going anywhere, you can just ask him to waive his no move clause. Like even if he does get picked up by Seattle, like he doesn't even have to fucking go there. He's not playing anymore.
Would you give Seattle a first round and like a prospect or two to take Seabrook off our books?
No, we don't. We don't need to. He's just on. He's going to be on LTIR for the rest of his like deal.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal, and we're not like pushing for the cup like we were years ago, where we'd have to like when we had Hosa's contract and we had to get that
a little bit right now.
Yeah, we're fine. So if they allow ask him to waive his no move, then we can for sure it's Keith, Murphy, Zadorov. And that's all I think you got to do.
What is it, 9 or like 8-3-1?
Something like that. I don't remember the expansion rules off the top of my head, but we have like a lot of guys that are exempt that we don't have to worry about.
Yeah, like majority of our team.
Yeah. I thought I saw like earlier on in the season that since like Nylander is out for the whole year, he actually stays exempt instead of having to be protected, but I could be wrong about that too. So that would like freed up a spot to like protect somebody else like on the forward core too. We'll be all right though.
Yeah, I'm trying to see really quick here.
But yeah.
So this is who they have to have at least one defenseman exposed, 2 forwards, and 1 goalie at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
overall, how do you feel about Bowman's trade deadline this year?
I think he did great. There was like a lot of people online were also saying like the Hawks did really good. I was like pretty impressed. Like we weren't like, I guess we were like we were kind of selling. We were selling, but like we didn't like sell like everything, Like we weren't getting rid of like Taylor Hall. I don't know.
I mean, so now we're up to 8 draft picks this year.
That's not bad.
Yeah. We don't have a 3rd round or a 5th round, but we have 2 seconds, 2 4s, and 2 7s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think, I know I'm not a Bowman guy and not a Bowman fan. I know nobody knows this, but I think he did well. He didn't mortgage. What I was extremely worried about was he was going to get stupid ideas that this team can compete and is a legit contender this year. So he was going to like sell off like the future to bring in guys, to maybe bring in like a Taylor Hall or something.
Oh yeah.
That was my biggest worry. He
Well,
didn't do that,
I feel like we could have brought in a Taylor Hall with the shit that Boston ended up giving up for him.
Yeah, somehow they listened to our podcast before it got posted, and they took my advice. But we'll get to that in a second. But overall, I think it was a win for the trade deadline. Everything we lost was some stuff we could lose and stuff we expected to lose. So really, you can't complain about that.
No, not at all. But it was perfect. We after the trade deadline, Hawks went out and got a little dub.
Yeah, it's so funny. It was like the second they traded like Soderbergh and Yammer, I was like, okay, well, I think that pretty much settles playoff contention, and then they come out and win over Columbus.
Well, yeah, because they're playing Columbus, and Columbus got rid of
everybody,
David Savard and Nick Foligno.
Yeah, so I'll pull these up really quick here. Full disclosure, I did not watch the games this week. So we'll do a quick recap and then we'll get into more trade deadline talk. But yeah, so it was a 4-3 overtime win for the Hawks over Columbus.
It was the first game that the Hawks had with Brett Connolly and Riley Stillman in the lineup. They looked pretty good. Fucking Patrick Laine, man. He, at the time of this game, I don't know if he scored since, but he had only 12 goals and he had 6 against the Hawks.
Jesus.
And it's just I don't want the Hawks to be Patrick Laine's new fucking Dallas Stars because every time we face them, if he scores like 2 or 3, it's going to be so fucking annoying.
Well, hey, luckily after this year, we'll go back to normal divisions and we'll only face him twice.
Yeah, true. Oh my God. I forgot that they're in the East.
But yeah,
for some reason, I was just thinking it was still like the West Coast Division or the Western Conference. And they were with us.
Would you hate the divisions to stay this way?
No, I like having the games be not. Well, I like having the majority of the games not be past 9.
Yeah,
like it's pretty great.
Yeah. So Keith doubles his goal total from last year.
Yeah,
gets 2. Gets 2 of the year now.
Yeah, man.
Power play. Keener and DeBrink with the assist. Keener 39 assists. DeBrink at 20. Kurashev scores his 8th of the year. Keener gets his 40th assist. Let's go.
Yeah, Keener's a killer. Brett Connolly came out and scored a weak one, but he scored his first goal as a Hawk in his first game.
Hey man, he's old. He's an old man. He scores strong goals.
So. But then, goddamn, man, Patrick Laine is so fucking ridiculous. When that goal, you saw the highlight for that one, right?
Yeah.
He goes coast to coast.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? I saw him gearing up, like, behind the net, and I was like, I had a feeling. I was like, oh, fuck. And I just kept watching. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like, that's what drives me insane about him. It's like, he's clearly an amazing player.
Yeah.
It just, what is with this motivation? Like, is it because he just he's playing on 2 teams that he didn't want to play for? What is it with him that he just can't like jump up?
Yeah, the consistency. I don't know. He's clearly fucking a good goal scorer, man. It's just I don't understand how he's like apparently invisible some nights, and then nights like this one, he just fucking powers through everyone and puts the team on his back to tie the game. It's ridiculous. But yeah, then our boy Brandon Hagel fucking ends it in OT. Just looking great. I don't think like I feel he's gotten like a lot of greasy goals, and this one was like an actual nice little snapshot.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, and like having like this is that 3-on-3 line was Doc, Hagel, and Kalnick. Like I'm cool with it. Like that shit works. It was great. I'm really liking Kalnick, by the way. He's really fucking.
He scored yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. He scored his second, I think, yesterday.
So what we really have to talk about this game too was Max Domi and
That's right.
Connor Murphy.
Max Domi just loses his shit.
Apparently, I don't know if you saw it, like what the full play, but apparently Murphy elbowed him in the head.
I think it was people thought it was an elbow when Domi like came up and like fucking cross-checked him or something. But he just lost it and then fucking
ragdolls him, like trying to get Murphy to fight, and Murphy's just not having it.
Yeah.
But then there's like the comments Domi made after the game. Usually when you hit somebody in the head, you have to answer the bell. But a guy like that, I mean, hey, I can't really comment on what I think of that response. I'm talking about Murphy, but you really can't take a penalty like that. So it's on me. With that being said, the first one, I think he sold a little bit. So I kind of went after him a little bit and he elbowed me in the head. If you're going to do that, you better answer the bell. I'm not really surprised he didn't, but I got to find a way to pull back there. So he's sitting there saying like, yeah, I got to be better, but it's that fucker's fault.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like the worst way to take accountability for losing your fucking mind.
Yeah, like like I shouldn't have done that, but fuck that guy. Like, yeah. I don't know. I think on that play, like I don't know if he intentionally elbowed him in the head because the puck was like when the puck's at your feet along the boards there. Like, what are you supposed to do? Your arms get tucked in high.
Yeah.
When you're trying to put your stick to the puck there. And so his elbow comes up, and if you're coming up from fucking behind him to cross-check him, you break your fucking stick over him.
Yeah.
And you end up fucking going face first into his elbow. Like, and then you're like, oh, look, you did that on purpose. It's like, okay, fucking calm down, you little shithead. I don't know.
Trying to live up to his dad on that one, and just stupid.
Like he just drops his gloves and Murphy's like, the fuck? And then he just gets like tossed and it's like, why didn't you drop your gloves? It's like, because what the fuck I didn't know you were fucking dropping them. Like the hell?
But that's also something though. I think we talked about it earlier in the season too, after I think it was Connor Murphy too. Like there was a hit and Carlton essentially told him, don't fight.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the culture that Carlton's like kind of putting on the team.
He doesn't want Murphy fighting because Murphy's like are basically becoming our number one defenseman.
Okay.
And he'd rather have him playing out there rather than sit in the box for 5+ minutes. Like Murphy's not afraid to fight. He's just like you said, Carlton's like, don't fucking fight. Like I'm assuming if somebody were to do something completely fucking shitty, like run one of our guys and like hurt somebody, like I'm sure if Murphy was like, I'm gonna fuck you up and like fight, then Carlton would probably be like, yeah, that was a good decision, like way to stick up for the boys. But like if somebody's trying to goad you into a fight just because like they're pissed at you, it's like, nah, dude, fuck off.
Yeah. And then Domi ended up getting 2 minors on that and a 10-minute misconduct.
Yeah, something like that.
He had 14 full minutes of penalties.
Yeah, did he even touch the ice after that? I mean, it was Tortorella, so I doubt it.
Oh, I'm sure Tortorella loved it.
Oh, you think he loved it? I think he doesn't like dumb penalties.
But Tortorella loves that psycho, like.
No.
He's probably going to the Lanes at the end of the bench. He's probably like, see, look at that's what you got to fucking do. That's why you're on the bench here.
Yeah, go lose your shit. Well, yeah, Laine fought fucking Hagel earlier in the year.
Got dummied, but he fought him.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
So that was a big win, much like a needed win for the Hawks. And then we go into a series with Detroit, which we had this marked on our calendar as 2 easy wins and 2 like must-win games.
Yeah.
And when we put that pressure on it, then of course it's not going to deliver.
I mean, here's the thing with Detroit though too. Like they're still young. They're not like a great team, but they have a decent like they can win. Like it's not like they're easy wins really, because even that one game that we had earlier in the season where it was like Kurashev just like stole the show that one game.
Yeah.
That was only like a 1-0 win.
Right.
Like they played good enough defensively. They have 2 pretty good goalies. Like, or they're playing not too shabby this year.
Oh, they're not bad, but it's like when you're looking at this team and for where we think the Hawks are at, it should be a games that we win.
Right.
And it should be like if they're close games, you know, I mean, there's still wins, but this first game was, again, I didn't watch it, so I don't know how the teams looked, but Hawks dropped this one 4-1.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Yeah, Keith scores
his second in 2 games.
Yeah, so he's up to 3 in the year. He scores in the first period, and then after that, it was all Detroit.
Yeah, Jacob Vrana got his first as a Red Wing in his first game,
assisted by Nick Lindstrom. I mean,
no.
Gustav Lindstrom.
Yeah. It was like,
dude, if this kid ends up being another Nick Lindstrom, I just thought that was hilarious looking at seeing like assist from Lindstrom. Like,
yeah, I know. I saw that too, and I was like, oh Jesus.
Not again. Here we go. But
yeah. But I didn't get to watch that game because I had to work. But it's if you're losing 4-1 to Detroit, I don't know. That's probably not too great.
So technically I guess 3-1 empty net goal.
Was it?
Yeah, Lincoln in.
Oh yeah, okay.
23 for 26. So not the best of game for Lincoln in.
Nah. But I mean, they came back next game.
Yeah,
last night,
Saturday,
4-0. Get a little dub.
Subban in that too.
Yeah, second shutout of the season. So him and Lincoln both have 2 shutouts, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Good to see we get that goaltending. And you know what? Surprisingly enough, like I know how we talk about Subban, like and how he looks unsure of himself out there, just like where the puck's at. Mm-hmm. He looked very, very honed in yesterday. Like at no point did I ever have a feeling that like he lost the puck or anything like that. He made some great fucking saves too.
Awesome.
And it was just like, yes, like that's like, it's a completely different feeling than watching some of the other games he plays where you're just like, oh my God, how does he not how did he lose this? Like, where's that rebound going? Like rebound control was way better. And like I said, like I think it was more poised and confidence of just knowing where like everything was, but it was great.
Which he needs to be. I mean, he that's what we need. We need 2 goalie options. We can't have one option and then one like flip a coin if he's going to make the save or not type of thing.
Right. I mean, we were saying like last week was just like, I think it's going to be and end up being just like Lankinen from here on out. Cause like you could watch him play and you're like very confident in his play. And then it's good to see that like, okay, now they give Subban the shot and he's stepped it up a little bit and pulls a good shutout out.
And it was a good game to play him too.
Yeah.
Second half of a 2-2 with Detroit. I did see. So one highlight I did see was Hinostroza's assist on Keener's goal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, baby.
Just the fucking hustle. That's what I love about Hinostroza. He's so fucking fast, and then just the perfect little stick lift. Then he just goes backhand through Mark Stahl's legs, slides it right over to Kaner, who has like fucking wide open net.
Stroz has been looking so good.
Yeah.
He had another assist in this game too.
Yeah, he had 3.
He had 3?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, on the Wyatt goal and the Suter goal.
Yeah, his other assist on the Kalnick goal was a real good one too. He was a fucking Kalnick that just had a tap in, and Kaner got an assist on that too. And on the DeBrincat goal, it was really a whole play, and like Kirby Doc play got like stripped the puck and like down low. They're moving it around. It gets back up to like Murphy, goes back down to like Kirby Doc. And this is the thing that's crazy about Doc. Like he's not getting a lot of points, but he's doing so much. And like he could have gotten a point because it was like Doc to Murphy. Murphy shoots, fucking drops Hagel with a bomb, and then the puck just goes off of Hagel, squirts out, and then DeBrincat's got a fucking wide open net, and he buries it all day.
Doc's a big third assist guy.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's happening. Like he's like, as a Hawks player or as a Hawks fan, you get to watch these games and you're like, man, this kid is so fucking good. And if you're not a Hawks fan and you're not watching these games, and if you're like seeing like his stats, you're probably just like, why do they think he's so fucking
why
do they think he's so good? Like he's not putting up any points. It's like when you watch a game, like this kid's fucking everywhere. Like you said, he's the king of the third he's the king of the third assist. And like
right.
He's just so fucking good, man. And like eventually it's just gonna all start falling into place. And I think he's gonna put up like 90 plus point seasons, and that would be sick.
I think next year is gonna be huge for him.
Yeah.
I think if we get a full 82 game schedule where he's healthy, he comes in, kind of his role's being established now. He's going to know what he can bring to the table for the team and what's expected of him. I think it's just all going to finally click, and it's going to be like, holy shit, no stop.
Yeah, that's going to be, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Also I didn't mention, but in the previous game, and in this one, on the penalty kill, DeBrincat and Doc were out there together at the same time, and I really like it. Like I was saying, or I've been mentioning, it's like DeBrincat probably has one of the best defensive sticks on the team, and now he's playing on the penalty kill and fucking looking real good. I know it's Detroit because they're like 30th on the power play.
Yeah, they're 0 for 6 yesterday.
Yeah, but like it's an awesome option to be able to have like your best players, not just offensively, but also be able to play the penalty kill and be out there defensively, because then your penalty kill can be a fucking weapon too. Because
and it goes back to the dynasty era when it was Tage
Sharpie, yeah,
Saad,
Hossa,
yeah.
It's like if your best players are gonna be able to play on any situation, like it's gonna be great. And even they're like during the game, they're pointing out Patrick Kane is being better and defensively. Like he's getting like all these little stick lifts in the defensive zone, and just like stick lift, boop, take out the puck, and then he's gone. And it's just like, if everybody's getting the 200 game going, like let's fucking go, baby.
Imagine the level Kaner would have been if he could have had that 200 foot game his entire career.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know it's not his job, but it's like still like,
right.
Holy shit.
God, I love it.
4-0 shutout for Subban. Quick look at the standings. They are now at 47 points. They are 2 points behind Nashville for that last spot, but we have a game in hand now.
Love it.
So I don't think that lasts long though. I think Nashville plays. Oh no, we play Nashville. That's coming up.
It's a 3-game series against Nashville, right?
So this next 3 games
are huge,
are enormous. There's 11. We have 11 games left on the season.
I'm expecting some playoff hockey.
It has to be.
Yeah.
You essentially have to treat this as a best of 3 series.
Do you think that like maybe the league is telling the refs like, hey, like this is going to probably be playoff atmosphere.
Let them play.
Like,
no.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I would hope so, but I don't think so.
Yeah. That'd be fantastic.
But yeah, I mean, it's with 11 games left on the year, a 3-game series against Nashville. I think if you don't come out with 2 of 3, there's no way. I think that's it. That's all she writes.
Yeah, I mean, if we come out with 2 or 3, then we're tied in the standings. That's going to be big, but we also have Tampa and Florida right after that, and Carolina. Oh, Jesus.
So, I mean, it's not easy for us going forward.
No, it's not at all, because the 6 games after this Nashville series is 1 against Tampa, 2 against Florida, and 3 against Carolina, and then Dallas to end the season. So
after us, they have 2 against Florida, 1 against Dallas, 2 against Columbus, and 2 against Carolina.
Man, oh man. Yeah, this is a big series. Fuck. All right. Well, I mean, it's going to be exciting, and there's going to be little rest between these games because they just played yesterday. They're playing tomorrow, Monday. They're going to have Tuesday off, play Wednesday, have Thursday off, play Friday. So it's a little of like game off, game off, game off, game off.
That's straight up playoff hockey right there.
That is. Especially since it was – so they had Thursday and then Friday off, Saturday, Sunday off, Monday, Tuesday off. And
it's 1 in Nashville and then 2 in Chicago.
It's – yes. I'm sorry. I had it clicked off the wrong way. But yeah. So, oh my God. This is going to be great. With a few games left.
I mean, granted, yeah, like I know we're saying how important this 3 games is. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot that has to be done after this. But it has to – if we lose all 3, or we only take 1 of this, it's hard to see this team fighting for that last playoff spot. Then they'll be 6 points down if they lose 2 of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like what we mentioned before with the divisions, like these are huge like swings in points, no matter who you're playing.
Yeah.
Because it's all in division. So, like you said, yeah, if we lose this first one, then that gap just widens by so much. It's ridiculous. All right. Anything else for the Hawks?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we are good. So let's get back into trade deadline talk.
Yeah.
3 big things that stand out to me. 1, Taylor Hall is a loser. And
Jesus Christ.
No, so Taylor Hall
coming in real hard with that.
Taylor Hall gets dealt to Boston, which I didn't realize that. So he had a no trade clause.
Yeah.
And the only team on it was Boston, was the team that he would accept a trade to.
That was it?
That was it.
That's weird.
So he is just kind of a scumbag, kind of screwed over Buffalo a little bit.
Yeah, why wouldn't I don't understand why wouldn't you want to go to even Tampa or Florida or Colorado? Why is it only Boston?
I guess he's made comments in the past about how he always looks back at his draft year and wonders what if.
Oh, what if he was taken second?
Yeah. And he's always had a connection to Boston, I guess. I don't know. But,
okay. Cool, Taylor.
So this, which was weird, was that this trade came in late Sunday.
Yeah. It was, and it's funny too, because Boston had just played Washington and got their dicks kicked in.
Oh yeah, it was 8-1 or something.
Yeah, and apparently they were only prepared to offer Boston or Buffalo a 3rd round pick for them, and then they're like, "I guess we should up it to a 2nd round pick. We really need the help." It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
So Boston gets not only Taylor Hall, they get Curtis Lazar.
Yeah.
Buffalo gets Anders Bjork and a 2021 2nd round pick. So first, let's say this. You got to feel it for Buffalo fans, man.
Yeah.
Of all the years that Taylor Hall gets this huge haul for being traded, no pun intended, every year teams overpay for him, and you finally get him on your team, and you're thinking, awesome, we're going to get this huge haul for this guy. And this was the year the teams decided that Taylor Hall just really isn't worth it.
Well, Taylor Hall just decided
Or
you're not getting anything for me.
but
Yeah, he's also already tied like his his goal total in Buffalo with Boston already.
proof that he is only good when he's got good players around him.
Yeah, he can't drive a team.
Oh, like
Anders Bjork though has 3 points on Buffalo already, a goal and 2 assists.
there was rumors that the Hawks were going to try to make a run at him
Yeah,
at the deadline, which I would have liked. I would have mind that.
yeah, honestly, like, but I don't know if Buffalo thinks that maybe maybe they could have gotten more for Bjork than they got for Hall.
That would have been fucking hilarious.
Can you imagine if they flipped Bjork for a bigger like Hall than that? Jesus.
Oh my God, that would have been so funny. But yeah, so it's like I feel for Buffalo fans, but at the same time, it's like your owners are fucking idiots.
Yeah, I mean,
Have no scouts.
yeah,
You have a rookie GM who had nothing to do with hockey management before this position. Like nobody's under contract in Buffalo. Like everybody's like on 1-year tickets, except for
their except for their long-term deals. They have like I said, like multiple times, $15 million in Okposo and Skinner.
like God.
Yeah, sucks to suck. Let's see what else
So, but overall, so what do you think? Like overall, do you think that this is a sign that Taylor Hall is just going to be treated as a role player now, or do you just think it's Buffalo or Boston taking advantage of a situation?
I think that Boston was really lucky that Taylor Hall's like, I'm only going to go there.
Yeah.
And then Buffalo was like, well, we need, like, we're not going to just
give them to you.
Yeah, like we need to get stuff at the trade deadline, and then Boston's just like, yeah, we're not going to give you like jack shit. We'll give you like the second rounder and like that. And they're like, but it's Taylor Hall. And they're like, yeah, so you can hold on to him if you want to, or we'll give you this. And they're like, fine.
I wonder if they would have got more for him if they dealt him earlier on. Like I know people were saying like the longer Buffalo held on to him, the smaller the package was going to be.
Right. I mean, but like you said, like if he's only like waiving his no trade to just go to Boston, it's kind of like, okay, well, like fuck it, like we got it, like we're not going to just hold on to you for the rest of this dumb season. Like we're not, like they're literally officially eliminated already from playoff contention. And if you're Buffalo, you're kind of like, okay, well, I mean, fuck it, like let's just get what we can. Like it sucks that they couldn't get like a first or anything out of it, but I mean, it's either that deal right there or pretty much just holding on to him to the end of the year. And I don't think he would re-sign there because they fucking suck.
Yeah, it's just I was listening to Steve Dangle's podcast after like the trade deadline and all this, and they're just saying they're like, why would Buffalo even do this deal to begin with Taylor Hall with the 1 year $8 million? Like for what this team needs and where they're at, like nobody can believe that Buffalo was a contending team.
Yeah.
Nobody could have thought, like anybody that with reasonably thinking couldn't believe that.
I know if like they believed, oh, like if we do amazingly because we got Eric Stahl and Jeff Skinner just came off of a whatever year, like
bad year.
Was it a bad year last year? I don't even remember.
Yeah, last year, because last year was the first year on this like ridiculous.
Oh yeah, he's whatever. They thought maybe he was gonna have a bounce back year, and like they're gonna Jack Eichel's been playing sick, and it's like now we brought in Taylor Hall. It's like, so what was the plan if you guys did play well and like made the playoffs? Like, where is the money to keep Hall at that point? Yeah. You know, I don't know.
I just think this team's set up for failure, and
yeah,
they need new management. They need new ownership, I think, and
maybe he wasn't offered like any money around that, like from anywhere else. So he's just like, I'll take the 1 year like big contract, and then maybe like I can get something similar next year. I don't fucking know, man. If I was a team, I would not sign Taylor Hall next year for anything over like $6 million.
I even think that might be pushing it. I would say between 4 and 5.
Nah, because like if you have like the team that like can help him produce, because you need to have like guys that produce on their own already. I don't know.
You're going to pay him a ridiculous amount to be a complimentary player. That's what, like, I don't understand. Like, it's just at this point, like with that like mindset, like you're essentially paying him because of his name.
Yeah, I don't know.
And his you're paying him, like we said last week, you're paying him for that Hart season, that one season.
Yeah, honestly.
So it's like, I don't know. I just don't understand it. But all right. So there's that. The next one, let's go to Washington and Detroit.
Yes.
Because I think people are looking at this really wrong. Like, I think people are talking about how Washington got fleeced completely.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that this was actually a great trade for both sides.
I do too. I mean, Washington gave up a decent amount for him, but let's see, what was it? So Dick Panic,
yeah,
Jacob Vrana, first round pick this year and a second round pick next year. With Washington, I think Anthony Mantha is going to be great. He's already got 3 goals in 3 games. Like, if he's just going to keep fucking scoring while he's on this team's full of guys that can just dish the puck to each other. Like, it's a completely different like atmosphere than it was in Detroit. Like, it's not like him and Larkin are like the top 2 guys. It's like you've got Ovi, Backstrom, Oshie, fucking Kuznetsov. You got John Carlson on the back end. You got fucking Dmitry Orlov, who's like also like pretty goddamn good and like not really talked about. Fucking who else I'm missing? One more.
But he's also signed. So he's signed for 3 more years after this year at a really decent cap at 5.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, especially, I know Ovi's going to re-sign with them, but at this point right now, you don't know what's going to happen with Ovi. There's not like an official like guarantee that he's coming back to Washington. I think he is, but you have to plan for that what if type of situation, and this is a great piece to kind of plug in. He's not going to replace Ovi's 50 goals every year.
No,
but it's a great complementary piece to plug in to fill in that hole if there is one after this upcoming season.
Yeah, and then like I'm saying, like this team, this can still contend for a cup. So like if they're still contending, that first round pick is late.
Yeah,
that's like high 20s. And then that second round pick, like assuming that there's pretty much going to be around the same as next year, that second round pick is going to be like in the high 50s. Like,
which I think it's safe to assume it is, because I think majority of this team, this team's locked up.
Yeah.
There's Ovechkin. Was it Raffle?
Yeah, Michael Raffle. I think just acquired in a trade.
And Chara are the 3 players that have to be signed. Those are the only 3 coming up after this season.
Yeah. And Ilya Samsonov.
Yeah. Like,
so, yeah.
And they also have Kempney on the long-term IR.
Oh, I mean, that's all right.
This team, but I mean, they're set up for a while.
Yeah. So like that, I mean, that's just another weapon that they added to their arsenal, and it's like I think it's a great fucking trade.
Oh, yeah.
And like even Washington fans were saying online that like Jacob Vrana, like, yeah, like he gets traded to Detroit and automatically becomes their points leader. But like I guess he's super streaky, and then Detroit fans were like, yeah, Anthony Mantha is streaky too. But it's like it's hard to I think it's weird to be streaky on Washington versus streaky on Detroit, where Detroit you have like little to no help, and Washington you have like all the other, like I was saying, all those other pieces that can like put the puck in the fucking net.
Yeah, I think like this is a win-win. Stevie Y set the Wings up for a good long-term plan, which we got to talk about CY just being an absolute goddamn wizard.
He's so good.
Wherever he goes, like he is able to make magic happen.
Even like in his first year when they picked Moritz Seider as their first rounder, and everybody's like, "What? Like that's so off the board." And then now you're like, see this kid, like you're hearing about this kid developing. He's literally nominated for best defenseman in the SHL.
Yeah,
like he's got this eye for fucking talent, and he's picked up a lot of really good guys with it. He did it so much in Tampa, and he's just doing it again in Detroit.
And then Panik was just a salary dump. I think he was on waivers.
Yeah, he had just passed through waivers. He was, I don't know if he was probably on the taxi squad, but yeah, he was playing last night.
Yeah, he has 2 years left. And it's then I didn't read into the article because I think it was an Athletic article, but it was essentially saying that Detroit needs to just be bad for 2 more seasons to have the opportunity to draft like the next McDavid. Like apparently there's some like really good prospect coming up in 2 drafts. So it's like there's being set up. I'm not saying like that's their goal. Like they're purposely trying to be bad, but I'm saying like they're being set up, or if they're not reaching the high level, they have a chance at really growing this team and getting their franchise player and all that kind of stuff. And I think Stevie Y behind making all the moves and all that kind of stuff, they're doing the right things. And I think that the Detroit era of being brutally bad again is going to be short-lived. I think 2-3 years they're going to be back to a playoff team.
They have a lot of good young talent that's going to be coming up probably, because I know in the more recent drafts they've been getting some good picks, and then they're doing the Detroit thing where they're in the 90s, you know, like they're not rushing these guys.
No.
Like when Dylan Larkin came in and he was still young, they're like, yeah, we haven't seen this in Detroit in years where somebody so young was actually making the NHL roster. It took these guys like till like 24, 25, 26 to be making the NHL roster, because they were
Stevie Y. It was probably the last time that someone came in right away.
Yeah. And so like you're seeing that kind of happening again, where they're not rushing these guys in. Like they had their most recent draft pick, who is, I believe, also playing like in the SHL or in Europe, and like the kid's supposed to be like real fucking good, but they're like, we're gonna let him keep doing his shit over there, like until he gets a little bit bigger and then makes his way over here, you know?
Yeah.
It's Detroit's gonna be dangerous in like 5 years probably.
Yeah, and I think it's good for hockey. Like it's good for hockey to have the original 6 teams to be good. And it's good, especially if another reason why I kind of want these divisions to stay the same, because I would love to have good Detroit versus good Blackhawks. And it's been a while. I mean, so 2009 was the last time, really. And even then, it was a very flip of the switch. Like the Hawks went from so good, and Detroit went so fast.
Well, no, because we played them in 2013 in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Oh, because that was the Siebes. I always get
Siebes goal. Yeah.
For some reason, I always think that that's 2010.
I don't know.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Second round. 2013. But yeah.
So I think that was a win-win. I think that got way more hate. I think Washington got way more hate than they deserved for that move. I think that was a great move by them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's going to be the trade of the deadline. That's going to be looked at and be like, damn, Washington made him, like they were like, we want this guy and we're going to get him. Like,
yeah.
I didn't even know Anthony Mantha was fucking available.
No, I thought it's like you don't see a player who's got 3 years left on their deal, like a star player
who I'm pretty sure just signed it, didn't he?
Typically dealt. You don't see that very often. So
yeah, he's not a rental. Like he's usually rentals at the deadline.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that kind of shows how much Washington wanted him and how much value Stevie Y saw in that return. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, that's also like what you like. If it was a rental, you wouldn't see that many picks going that way, or like the type of players. But it's just like, I think it was a very fair deal. So
Another team that's all in, Toronto,
yep.
making a lot of moves at the deadline, which I was kind of surprised. I wasn't surprised, but it was one of those things that I don't understand how the salary cap truly works, because I don't know how they were able to do some of the things that they did.
Yeah. Well, it's for the salary cap. It's let's say you don't have any trades for like the whole season up until the deadline, and you had, let's say, $2 million in cap space. Like, you still have $2 million in cap space at the deadline. And if you acquire a player that was like $4 million, like, that's fine, because it's whatever their cap is left is what takes up your cap.
Gotcha.
Some shit like that. It's weird.
So the first move that Toronto did, using San Jose's salary cap again. So Columbus got Toronto's 2021 first round pick and next year's 4th round pick. San Jose Sharks got Foligno and Toronto's 4th round pick this year. And then they flipped Foligno to Toronto. And they also got Stefan Nosen.
Yeah, Noesen,
yeah. That was rumors. I know it was between Minnesota and Toronto for Foligno. So that's 4 captains now that Toronto has. Former captains.
Oh yeah.
You got Tavares, Foligno, and Spezza.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of leadership.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a fucking ton of leadership there.
But yeah, like that's.
Has he been able to play yet in
I
Toronto?
don't think so. I think he has. It's got to be up very soon. I think his quarantine's up very soon.
Yeah, because it's only like a week.
Yeah,
that they have to do.
Hopefully this trade happened. Yeah, a week today.
Okay.
And whenever he actually got to Canada.
Yeah. So I mean, Columbus ended up pushing out David Savard too for another first rounder.
Good for them.
Tampa. So Columbus is just like, yeah, we'll take all the first rounders, even if it's going to be like
a Hydra.
Yeah, who cares if you literally are getting picks like 30 and 31, like whatever.
Whatever yours is too. Like
yeah, like they're not making the playoffs. What if fucking Columbus wins the
lottery?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. We got things winding down now, and get to see a little bit more of what the playoff picture is looking like. I wonder what some of these what's the magic numbers for some of these teams, because like some of them are fucking way up there in points. Like I was saying, what Buffalo's is the first one to be officially eliminated, but I wonder who's like how many games until like whoever's at the top is like officially in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. But here real quick, go through the other trades. Toronto also got David Ritchie from the Flames for a 3rd round pick next year, which I think that's really interesting. That kind of makes you wonder, is Freddie done?
David Ritchie. What? David Riddick?
Riddick. God damn it.
I was like, wait.
Riddick.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Freddie, but I mean, Jack Campbell's been playing pretty damn good.
Then they got Ben Hutton from the Ducks
for
next year's 5th round. And then just a minor trade that we're talking about. But
yeah, I don't think there's anything. Well, one of the other crazy trade, or I didn't know that Hayden Fleury was going to be traded. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
He was a former high draft pick. So for defenseman Yanni Hakanpää, who's not. He's 29. Holy shit. And he's 6'5". Oh my God. That's a big boy.
Yeah, it's just weird too, because it's like Carolina is in a position to win this year. Like,
I don't know what happened to Hayden Fleury. Like, and I guess he just never was as good as they were hoping he would be. So he was like a 5th overall.
Oh, 7th overall.
7th overall.
2014.
He's got 37 games played and 1 goal. That's it.
Yeah, good.
on that Carolina team that's pretty damn good. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything else like too crazy. Eric Gustafson got traded from Philly to Montreal for a seventh rounder.
Yeah, good fit.
Yeah. Let's see.
Was there
I
any?
don't think, yeah.
So was there any like who? Do you have a clear cut like one team was the winner of this trade deadline?
No, but I think the Hawks did really well. I think if Washington ends up killing it the rest of the year, it's going to be looking like. I think that would, like we said, that's like a pretty fucking good trade for both teams, actually.
Yeah.
I think Vancouver lost the trade deadline because of just, I don't know, it was like the 1-for-1 with us. It was weird.
Yeah.
Columbus did really good at the trade deadline, getting 2 first-rounders. Like, I don't know. I don't think anybody like really. I mean, Buffalo got screwed. Like, I don't know.
Winnipeg, like,
I forgot Jeff Carter went to the Penguins.
Yeah, Jeff Carter, the Penguins. They got old take exposed, which was hilarious. There was a tweet that said after Jeff Carter, I think, scored a huge goal or something, the Kings tweet out, who would ever trade Jeff Carter? And then it was like, life comes at you fast. And then we've traded Jeff Carter.
Oh, yeah. Devin Dubnyk went to Colorado.
Well, that was before. We talked about that last episode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. The teams that needed to win or needed, they actually helped to win, made moves. Colorado, Tampa, Florida, Washington, Vegas. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just going to be really interesting to see how it plays out.
Excited for the rest of the season.
So, a couple quick things. Then we're going to wrap this up. Patrick Marleau tied Gordie Howe last night for most games played.
Yeah.
And it was something like there's just like insane stats going out all day about that. Like,
yeah, when he played his first NHL game, Austin Matthews was only 2 weeks old.
Connor McDavid was only 7 months old.
It's silly.
Harry Potter was published for the first time in London. It wasn't even in the States yet. The iPhone was still 10 years away.
Yeah.
Invented.
Yeah.
Then there was another stat. Oh, I gotta find it.
It's like Netflix only had 25 million subscribers.
Yeah. Oh shit, where was it? Okay. So Patrick Marleau has appeared in at least one game with 37% of every NHL player who has ever played in the 104-year history of the league. So he's played with 3,009 players of the 8,100 players that have played.
Yeah, over a third of the players to ever play in the NHL have touched the ice with Patrick Marleau.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And him and Jumbo Joe, I can't find the exact number, but they've played the most games as teammates for two players that went 1-2 in their drafts year. Because Jumbo Joe was drafted first overall, and Marleau was drafted second.
Yeah, I don't know how many teams could say they ever had 1 and 2 in a draft, though. You know,
Sedin's.
I thought they were 2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3, yeah.
It's like get Taylor Hall to Dallas.
So tomorrow he will pass Gordie Howe.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And
that
record stood for 59 years.
And here's something even funnier. He's doing it against Vegas. So for context, it will be game number 1,768 for Marleau. The Golden Knights won't play their 1,768th regular season game until the 2039-2040 or 20.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
But and I know you want to talk about this the Vancouver drama.
Yeah. So Vancouver is scheduled to play today still, I think. I don't know if as of right now they're still playing. They're still scheduled to play Toronto. They were supposed to play on Friday too, but yeah, they had 19 confirmed cases of COVID.
Yeah.
And they've been off for so many days. Let's see, is it still? Yeah, it still says they're supposed to play. And like recently, like JT Miller had come out and saying like he doesn't feel anywhere near ready to play. He thinks that their schedule is absolutely insane. Like it's, what was it, 19 games in 31 days?
Something like that. And that was before
that was before they So there's a stretch in their schedule of, I think it's here. Let me actually pull their team up and then I can pull their schedule up. But it's literally 6 back-to-back games. Or what was it? Okay. NHL announces Canucks schedule. Let's see. So they're playing today, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, then next week, Monday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, then it's back. Oh yeah. So it's not 6 back-to-back games. It's back-to-backs. Like 4 of them.
Jesus. And
they have like no more than 1 day off for like any of these games.
Yeah, they don't have any. Yeah.
Can you imagine being like, this is the thing that he was talking about. Like JT Miller was like, you have guys that are struggling to like breathe because they've like gotten it like bad enough that their lungs are fucking hurting. And then now their schedule is going to be game off, 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 game. And it's just like, these guys are going to be fucking dying, like so exhausted. They're screwed. They're not going to be able to fucking.
They're pretty much. They're going to be
out
done. Of the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs.
Well, I don't think they're not going to be able to because they're going to be so fucking gassed and like after just by the end of this month, like their May is going to be trash.
Yeah, I don't know. That's ridiculous. I just think the NHL has been doing a great job with the COVID all stuff, this whole situation the last year and a half. But I think they kind of dropped the ball here.
I mean, I don't know what they were supposed to do. I think, if anything, like they would have just had to cancel the rest of the season for them. But then, how does that affect the other teams in the?
You just got to play
in the North.
Well, they were talking about if the season got canceled for a certain point, whatever, you would do percentage points. You would just have to do that with the North.
Right, but that was if the whole season got canceled. Like
I'm just saying though, like you would still have to take it. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
take that.
You could take those games that like Vancouver's supposed to play against Toronto and Vancouver's supposed to play against Calgary, and like then you just do like maybe Toronto versus Calgary instead, like just so they can finish with a similar amount of games as like everybody else in the league. But it's just like man, like
your times, man. This is a whole weird, and you feel for it's like you see it from both sides. You feel for the players and all that because that just isn't right to go, especially with what this condition is and all that kind of stuff. But then it's like you also have to see it from the league's point of view. It's like we have to get these games done. We have to have a complete season. And
I wonder if it's somehow like if Vancouver just goes, we're done. Like we can't play every game like this.
I wonder if there'd be any penalties with that. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's a weird, it's still a weird season. So I feel like they have 8 fewer games played than like Winnipeg. Oh my God, they have so many games coming up. I would hate it if I was on that team. Oh man, Matthew Highmore, so sorry, bud.
Yeah. If you're feeling down about your ice time in Chicago, you're about to see a big upkick.
Vancouver. They're gonna really have to utilize that taxi squad. Yeah, I wonder how they're gonna swap guy. I'm sure they're gonna probably have to use the taxi squad like crazy.
Oh yeah. So
and they still have Elias Pettersson on LTIR too. So it's like,
what's the point? Like, just let them not finish the season. work on a schedule with the teams that are still playing. I don't know, but
yeah. All
right, man. You got anything else?
Connor McDavid, first one to hit 70 points this year.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. They have 13 games left, so he would need over 2 points a game to reach 100.
Which is very doable.
I mean, how many games do they have against Vancouver coming up? Because if it's towards the end of the season, he might have like some 6-point nights.
Yeah.
Fucking gassed players, and all he has to do is skate around them. Are you kidding me?
Not even full speed, just kind of just like, oh,
yeah.
I'm going to go around you here.
Jeez. We'll see. All right. I think that's about it.
All right. So that was episode 131. What are we calling it, Tanner?
The home stretch. Almost there.
All right. So yeah, for Tanner and myself, episode 131, the home stretch. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe, rate, follow all social media. Check out the Hockey Podcast Network and their other shows, and go to DraftKings, promo code THPN, and we'll see you on the next one.
Sounds good. See you later. Love you, boys. Bye.